Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Aegis Moto Adventures. It's our third day, and we'll be heading from Thunder Bay to Winnipeg today. It's going to be another grueling, grind it out on the highway day, but we'll have a few more of those before we start to make it a little bit smaller. So we'll get on the road here after some breakfast. See you then.
The day starts out with sunny skies, but eventually clouds will overtake us. And unbeknownst to us, western wildfires are getting bigger and adding smoke to the atmosphere hundreds of miles downwind. 2 days from now, we will experience that smoke firsthand. Off to our left as we cross over the river is Kakabeka Falls. If I had known about this, I definitely would have stopped. So if you have time, be sure to take in this natural wonder in the provincial park. Starting in about 1850, Sunshine, Ontario became a bustling area due to the timber production and a sawmill. But just 30 years later, the boom was about over. By 1891, only 3 houses remained, and in 1914, the post office was closed. Nowadays, there are some small farms and homesteads. Uppsala was named after a city in Sweden and became prominent as a waypoint for the Canadian Pacific Railway. Like our railroad predecessors, we'll stop and take on fuel and a little break. You'll notice that we have left the hills behind us and the road straightens out some. We are now in more of a flat area, but we still have forest and lakes. That'll change. Western and northwestern Ontario is really quite remote and sparsely populated once you leave the highway. A quick look at a map makes it self-explanatory. One will see lake after lake in low-lying territory, making road and railroad building difficult. Without a natural resource worth gaining access to, the cost prohibits further expansion. I, for one, find it wonderful that remote villages will remain so for the foreseeable future. Dinnerwick and Webbegoon are small towns along the Trans-Canada Highway. There isn't much infrastructure in these towns until you reach Dryden, a few miles down the road. Here you will find fuel, food, and hotels. Dryden may seem like a swinging place, but with a population just under 8,000, it is the least populated incorporated city in Ontario. What makes the town a great stopping-off spot is the fact that it sits halfway between Thunder Bay and Winnipeg. From Dryden, we continue west on the Trans-Canada Highway. We'll be making a stop in the town of Kenora, which is located at Lake of the Woods. The Lake of the Woods area is a unique spot that borders the state of Minnesota in the States. A northward finger of Minnesota extends into Ontario, isolating a place called Angle Inlet. U.S. residents must transit through Canada to reach the rest of Minnesota, except in the winter when there is an ice road. Instead of taking the Kenora bypass, we head right into town where we'll stop for gas and lunch at a downtown Subway. I gotta tell you, Kenora is a cool little town with a rich history. In the 1700s, the town and surrounding area was a hub for the Hudson Bay Company and the booming fur trade. At the time, it was named Rat Portage, a holdover from the Ojibwe and French trappers, and later the British after the 7 Years' War. In 1850, gold was discovered, and by the turn of the century, 20 mines were operating within a stone's throw of the town. By 1886, the Canadian Pacific Railway passed through the town, and in 1932, the Trans-Canada Highway came through town. Today, Kenora is a bustling town and a gateway to the Lake of the Woods and the Canadian Prairie. Boy, that was a fun stop, but we still have 130 miles to ride before we can call it a day. These long days are starting to be felt by our bodies that aren't used to being on the bikes all day. Luckily, experience has taught us that another day or two and our bodies will start to acclimate. We've made it to Manitoba. You will see a marked difference in the landscape as we ride out of the forest and into the prairie. Upon reaching Winnipeg, one can now see the haze in the setting sun. It's been a long day and everyone is ready to kick back and relax. Our routine will repeat over and over on this trip. Pack, ride, gas, lunch, gas, unpack, supper, and shower. And tonight, I'm too tired to film. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yesterday, boy, I'll tell you what, it was just so hot toward the end of the ride, and we were so tired because we'd grind a long day out that we just sat back and relaxed after getting the gear off the bikes. So hopefully you like that video. It was a grind for us, but there were some pretty areas that we went through. So we'll see you in the next episode.